back to Team 1D, and in this video I'm talking about the best and the worst rice for diabetics, because as we know, rice increases your blood sugar and causes a blood sugar spike, but it's also a staple food that is really good, and it would be bad to completely cut it out of your diet. So in this video I'm going to be talking about how to continue eating rice, and which rices you should avoid and which rices you should get in order to keep eating rice without having detrimental effects to your blood sugar and your A1C levels. So first, we have some of the best rices for diabetics. So I'm going to be talking about more known rices. I'm not going to talk about like really unknown rices like cauliflower rice or other like bean rices that there are, even though they're good for your blood sugar, just because I don't think they're really a viable choice for the everyday person, as they're not very good tasting for the most people, and also they're harder to find as well, and they're not exactly classified as a rice. Because they're made out of like cauliflower and other substances. So here one of the best ones are brown rice in general. This is because brown rice is less processed than white rice. It's also higher in fiber, and it has more vitamins and minerals. And its glycemic index is around 50 to 55, which isn't optimal, but it's definitely better than white rice. And it's an alternative, as in it still tastes good, and it's still a good option, but it's not as like detrimental for your blood sugar as white rice. So this is like a bit better, a good amount of a better option, but it's not perfect. Next we have basmati rice, which is really like good smelling rice. It's a really tasty rice, and it also has lower glycemic index than regular white rice. As like regular white rice has like a glycemic index like 70 to 89, while basmati rice is a glycemic index like 50 to 58. So yeah, it's less processed, has more nutrients, so it's better in general for diabetics, as it'll increase your blood sugar less due to the fiber in it and due to the glycemic index being lower. Next we have wild rice, which actually is one of the best options, as it has a glycemic index of 45 to 53, being one of the lowest ones on this list, and also it is high in protein, meaning it's a good option for getting your daily protein intake, and it also has lots of fiber, which combined with the protein can stop blood sugar spikes and can cause for you to maintain a better blood sugar range and not have spikes, as in with the worst rices. Also, the low GI causes less of a blood sugar spike, and the nutrients in it, like magnesium and zinc, are just overall beneficial for your health in general. It also has like a kind of an earthy flavor, which I personally like, and I think it's good for like adding texture and like a unique flavor to meals. And this might not blend in with like all meals, but I think it's a good addition to your diet if you want to have like rice once in a while because you miss rice, but you don't want to like have detrimental effects to your like health and your blood sugar. Next one, we have one called black rice, which is also called forbidden rice sometimes. This one is the best option in my opinion, pretty much, because its glycemic index is the lowest with 42 to 45 glycemic index. So it's really, really low. It also has many antioxidants, which many studies show that they can even help with your insulin resistance, which is something that a lot of diabetics can use in order to have better time in range and better A1C levels. The low GI also causes your blood sugar spike to be less, and it's higher in fiber and other nutrients, which in general cause the digestion to be slower and cause your blood sugar spike to be less. It also has kind of quite a unique and slightly sweet flavor, even though it doesn't have sugar or it also has a low GI and has like a chewy texture. So I think this is a good, tasty option while also being very friendly for diabetics. Then we have rice that you should avoid, and this is rice such as number one is the most common rice, which is white rice, and this is something that you should definitely avoid. Although like this is like a staple in like almost all households in America and even all over the world, this rice is highly processed usually, and it's also really low in fiber. Pretty much has no fiber. It has very few nutrients and is full of like fat and sugar, and causes rapid spikes in blood sugar like almost immediately. So this is a really bad option. In general, it's really, really bad. Something even worse than this somehow though is sticky or glutinous rice, such as like the sticky rice that are in many types of foods. As this is, although it's like very tasty, it's high in something called amylopectin, which causes starch to digest more quickly, and it's a type of starch that like pretty much digests quicker. So it's gonna be like pretty much like white rice, but it's gonna digest even faster. And because of this, it has a GI of 85 to 98, making it pretty much like sugar. And this is found commonly in sushi and in desserts. So yeah, pretty much it's gonna be a bad option. And although it's fine, it could be fine if you eat it in low doses or very infrequently. If you eat this frequently, it will have detrimental effects to your blood sugar and your A1C levels. So yeah, next we have instant or pre-cooked rice, which is possibly the worst rice that you can eat as a diabetic, along with the sticky rice. As it's pre-cooked, it's highly processed, it's really unhealthy for you, and the amount of it has no fiber or anything in it, and since it's so processed, it's pretty much nothing but sugar and starches that digest really fast, and so it causes a really fast and unpredictable blood sugar spike. Also, the amount of fat, a lot of it contains fat, which can cause your blood sugar to stay elevated for long periods of time, and its glycemic index is around 88 to 94. So yeah, its glycemic index is really not a good option for diabetics. So these are the rices with the that are worse for diabetics. However, if you really want to have these rices, or if you want to have other rices but have pretty much no spike in blood sugar, there are ways to actually cook rice in order to cause less of a spike into your blood sugar. And so how you do this is you can rinse your rice before cooking, which removes excess starch, or you can cook your rice with coconut oil. This actually changes the structure of the starch inside the rice and causes it to slow down the digestion and the blood sugar spike that will cause and that will result from the rice. Also, a really good idea is to refrigerate your rice for at least 12 hours, which this increases the starch resistance, which also lowers the GI. And this can actually lower the GI by 15 to 20 points, which is really, really good and can cause some of the worst rice, like white rice, to turn into like brown rice level or brown rice level rice to drop down from like 50 to 55 GI to 30 to 40 GI. So yeah, it can really lower the glycemic index of foods. So it's really highly recommended that you do this in order to eat rice. And this is also applicable to potatoes as well. You can do all of these things to potatoes as well to lower the glycemic index. Also, you can pair your rice or your potatoes with things that are really rich in protein and fiber. Since rice does not have protein or fiber that much, especially the worst options like white rice and instant or pre-cooked rice or sticky rice, you can combo these rices with beans or veggies or lean meats or multiple of them like broccoli and meat in order to stabilize your blood sugar and cause the digestion to be slower and thus cause the blood sugar spike to be slower. Also, another tip is you can eat less of the portion. So instead of eating like I don't know like how much like okay this is the portion that you had before you were diabetic, or let's say how other people eat, you can eat like half of that. So you can eat half the portion that you regularly would eat of of like white rice or sticky rice or instant rice. So you can eat so that like avoids the blood sugar and makes it 50% less. And then you can also combo it with like broccoli or vegetables or lean meat or protein or a source of fiber, and that will cause the blood sugar spike to go even lower. And overall, if you're able to combine multiple of these things, then you can pretty much minimize or get rid of the entire blood sugar spike and cause your blood sugar to stay in a healthy range. So yeah, these are the best rice and the worst rices for diabetics, and some tips on how to cook rice efficiently and effectively in order to minimize blood sugar spikes, even if you want to eat rice. So yeah, thanks for watching.